Hello Flosstube, my name is Yani and welcome to my channel. This is a cross stitch channel where we talk about cross stitch and about fabrics and flosses and projects and plans, even though we don't usually keep with our plants, but we love to make them. And sometimes we do these videos, which are stitch with me videos, where we can stitch together and perhaps using as background noise when you are stitching. So yeah, this is my stitch with me video. I am working on Floralie by Papillon creation, and I am using a DMC. The color is 115 and it's a lovely red, and because it has a little variation in the color, I am stitching one cross at a time in order to see the different shades of the floss. Of course you can stitch normally with all the bottom parts of the cross first and then finish the cross, and it's not a big deal, but I like to make the little crosses, so it's a matter of choice. In this case, which is not really variated, there are not much change in the color. It should not affect the final result, but yeah, I like to be able to watch these little changes. So yeah, and I'm in my PJs because I'm trying to having a relaxed time and stitch a little, because yeah, today is Saturday and I'm home alone for a few hours. My kids are they go out, and my husband is almost here, but yeah, I decide to quickly record a little video. We can chat and stitch, because usually it's a lonely activity, stitching, and yeah, it's always nice to be stitching with someone else. And yesterday when I go out of the office, it was still early, so I went for a cup of coffee, and I always bring my cross stitch with me my projects, and ABC, always bring your cross stitch. And I start to stitch at the coffee shop, and a lady start making conversation about the stitching, and she was really surprised of the piece that I was stitching. It was not this project, it was a different one, and she was saying, "Oh, it's really pretty and it's really tiny." Because the other project that I was working on, it's I am stitching that in linen 36, no, linen 36, yeah, so it's basically the same size. This is an even width 36, but yeah, it looks really small compared with a Aida 14 or Aida 11, which are the fabrics that we usually have access here in Mexico. So yeah, this lady was really surprised of the stitching, and she was telling me how she was also surprised because I was not using a hoop, and I was telling her, yeah, I stitch in hand. It's more comfortable for me, but many people stitch in hoop. There are just different methods, and yeah, and we talk about like half an hour, and she was telling me about an aunt of her that the aunt was not a stitcher, but was a knitter. She was telling me that her aunt make these little crochet dolls, and yeah, it was really nice to talk with someone, and spreading the the love of this hobby, of this form of art. And of course I was talking to her about the Mexican retreat that is going to be in a month. So exciting! And how we are going to be like 70 ladies, stitching together, and all weekend, and having fun, and talking about our projects, and how it's such a special moment and an experience, because you arrive to the room in the hotel, and knowing that so many people are there, and they all know the love for cross stitch, and we all share the same passion for our hobby. It's just amazing. So I'm I was really excited to talk about that, and the lady was really happy. And yeah, we talk for a while. So yeah, it's good to stitch on the street. I usually bring my cross stitch projects with me, even when we go with my husband on the motorcycle. We usually make road trips and visit small towns, but we always stay for a while, drinking coffee or having lunch or something, and I take my stitching bag with me, and yeah, we can talk, and I can stitch. One of the many bonus of stitching without a hoop is that about stitching in hand, that it's very comfortable to stitch any place. And I am working on a new design. Yeah, I'm really happy, and I'm really exciting because many of my stitchy friends have purchased my design, the friendship sampler, and it's wonderful to look at their pictures of their progress. And yeah, I mean, I didn't know that it's going to be so emotional, you know, when you design something and then you stitch it, and then you share that pattern, or you sell the pattern, and other stitchers start to work on your project, and it's so nice, and so you know, it's an amazing experience. And so I've been working on some other designs, but I don't really know the process of, you know, of cross stitch designers, and I just start with an idea and make the chart, but I have to stitch it and look at the combination and the parts of the design, and after I make the chart and start stitching, I made some changes, so it's like a full process. And then I stitch the piece, I change colors, or I change parts of the design, and then I return to the chart, to the file, and correct the file according to the piece that I stitch. And until then I could say it's a finished design. I guess if I continue designing or making my patterns, it's going to be a different process, or at least a quicker one where I can, you know, just design and make the chart, and that's it. But until now I have to stitch it and see if I like it, or I need to change something. If anyone is interested in getting a copy of my friendship sampler, write me an email. I am selling the pattern directly. Just send you a PayPal invoice, and then I send you the chart. So yeah. And I can show you the new design until it's finished, but it's really pretty. I really like it. And I was excited about some color combinations, but after I stitch some parts, I was not convinced, so I have to change some colors, and I like much better now. But that's it. I mean, I make the chart and with some, you know, with certain colors, but once are stitched, I need to adjust the colors and some motifs and things like that. So yeah. You know, just having fun. And also having fun and getting really nervous, because The Mexican retreat is almost here. I I have almost everything ready. You know, the gift bags are ready. The hotel, it's all, you know, set and done. But yeah, I need to be in the retreat mode for you know, to review all the things that I might need and get everything ready. But yeah, I'm really happy. And it's a lot of work, but I enjoy all the process. And it is very similar to last year when I finished the retreat, and you know, the last the Sunday, the last day, and I was really tired and really happy and really, you know, emotional and everything. And I say it was a great adventure, but and a great experience, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make another one. And here I am again. So I'm saying the same. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make another one next year, because yeah, it's really stressful, but it's beautiful. I enjoy every part of the process, so I can really tell. But yeah, we're almost done with all the preparation. And this year, as last year, I have the majority of stitchers are Mexican stitchers, but this year I have a lot of Latin American stitchers from Costa Rica and Chile and Colombia. I'm missing some from United States also. I have some beautiful stitchers who are going to be here with us. So yeah, it's an international retreat. Oops. So I'm very happy. And here in my city, there is not a big needle shop, needlework store, but I order some charts and needles and fabric, and I have been making threads, and you know, in order to have that that feeling and that experience of the needle shop in the retreat. But although we don't have those big and beautiful needlework shops, the city is so beautiful, and I can't wait to show all the stitchers the beauty of my city. And we're going to give like a ride, a tour. There's going to be a bus tour around the city to show all the buildings, and you know, to make a ride around the downtown and all the historical parks and church and temples, because we have a really big tradition. this city has a lot of Catholic church, and yeah, they are beautiful buildings. And this city was also where a lot of organization or soldiers and revolutionary fighters, well, no from the revolution but from the independence. So yeah, it's a gorgeous city. So it's going to be part of the retreat and of the beauty of the of that weekend, that the ladies are going to be able to know my city and part of Mexico. So yeah, so exciting. And I am just waiting for my last order from 123 Stitch, because I haven't received my last fabric, so hopefully last week. I am tracking the order, and it's already here in Mexico, so it won't have to take long hopefully. And with that I will have everything ready. But you know, there's always some things that we can control, but I try to have the few. So yeah, and I already have my stitching gift for the, because we have exchange of stitching gifts, so I have that done. And that's it. I am well, with my daughter we are working on a little game like bingo, but with stitching related. So we're trying to to figure out how to do it. We are almost done, so yeah, I will, of course, will be sharing pictures and videos of the retreat and all of the activities. I wish I could have more finished pieces of my stitching, but no. I haven't stitched much this year. I start a lot of projects and I have beautiful whips, but not so much finishing stuff, but that's okay. And I have to finish laundry also today, because tomorrow we are going with Carlitos to in the motorcycle, another road trip. I think I made a mistake. Yes, I made a mistake. Pay attention, Yanni. I start these little motifs in the morning, and I have to frog it like 3 times, and you can see here the little red fuzz, and I was not paying much attention, so I decided to change my project and breathe. But yeah, it's a really easy design. I mean, of course if you pay attention you won't have so many mistakes, but yeah, I make a mistake here, and also with the letter C. I started about this, and yeah, I have to re-stitch it again. But yeah, that's part of the journey, you know, the frogging. I remember when many years ago, when I was new in the English stitching forums, I of course didn't understand all these words or special words for you know, stitching terms like whip. I didn't know what was that. UFO and sable, frogging, yeah, and but very commonly nice ladies from the forums put like a glossary of the definition of those terms. So yeah, now I understand. Yeah, I make a video in Spanish of my whips, and I put like that. I put you know, whip parade, or in Spanish, hablando sobre mis whips, but I let the word whips. And many ladies ask me, what is a whip? I mean, I understand that you're talking about your projects, but, and I say, I'm sorry, you are right. I didn't clarify that. What is a whip? So yeah, there's a lot of these words in English for you know, stitching terms, and we usually in Spanish we use the same terms. We say whips, you know, it's more common now, the use of that word. Sal, it's very common in Spanish. They call it sal, but the actual sal in Latin American forums is different. It's, well, it has different meaning, but yeah, they use the same word. And yeah, so many years ago, when I start looking through internet, and all of those old forums like Juku, yeah, some of you may remember that. And what else? Well, the Yahoo groups. But yeah, I remember Juku, and I follow the Mirabilia forum and chat lines. And at the beginning there were a forum in 123 Stitch or in ABC Stitch, I can't remember, but they were only like threads of different topics, and there were a lot of threads so it was hard to follow a conversation. But yeah, you get you got a lot of information through those initial sites. and after that there were the blogs, and again a lot of information, and you see all those pictures, and yeah, it it has always been this community. We adopt different mediums now with videos and Facebook groups. But yeah, the love of the stitching and the community, it has always been there. We are not the same people, unfortunately, but yeah, it's, you know, the loving the loving spirit is there. So yeah, I don't usually post anything on Facebook. I have a personal Facebook, but even for my family or personal stuff, I don't use it. I don't know. I never feel or understand the Facebook, function. it's weird, and yeah, and again, sometimes it can be a little difficult to express or to put your ideas there, and yeah. Then we have some misunderstanding, and yeah. So it's the difference between all these mediums or media. I really like Instagram, because I don't have, to explain a lot or to talk a lot. It's just, share pictures, and you can put comments and everything, but yeah, I think it's a more simple way of communication, but that's just me. And I love Flosstube. I love YouTube, because even though it's not a perfect way of communication, it's more direct, and yeah, it's simple, I guess. But again, it's a matter of taste and of choice, and it has many factors. But at least in my case, I only try to to help to help, and to let other people know about cross stitch, because it's perhaps just a little video, or a little information, or but some people might find really useful, and they can find cross stitch fun and entertaining, and that's the idea. And in actually currently we have to be not modern or hip, because at least I'm not, but trying to use these tools. In my case, for example, I won't be able to get all these materials and patterns, and if or knowing all of you who had channels and Instagram and Facebook groups if it was not for internet. So yeah, it's a great tool. So it's part of the process. We have to be aware of the use of this, and always trying to be kind, because yeah, it can be tricky sometimes. But yeah, if you have the opportunity between being right or be kind, choose kind. I love that quote. So that's it. I will try to put this video on my channel. Thank you for stitch with me a little in this rambling video, and stitch a little. Some ladies had asked me about this pattern. Originally I got this pattern on European cross stitch, but now you can download the pattern or get the pattern on the site in papilloncreation.com, and they sell the PDF files. So yeah, that's great. So I will let a link below, and thank you for joining me. I will continue on my stitching and on my laundry and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye, happy stitching.